I won't deny that I have kicked dogs previously, probably in total about 5 or 6 times. Certainly not much more than that. In terms of being bitten, I would say a very conservative estimate, 20 or 30 times. Some of the bites very much worse than others. And in terms of being harassed, I must have been harassed literally hundreds of occasions.
I was exercising my hunter, rode down to the village like I normally do, up a bridle track, past the church, where the bells were ringing. The horse made no, he wasn't spooky or anything like that. I was on a single lane track, no other horses or people around. I was about halfway up the hill, where just past that farm there's a fairly steep bit, and there's that little blind bend. And all I could see was the cyclist, well, this chap with the white shirt.
When we got home, I didn't want to get out of the car because I saw a dog sniffing around the bins, but my mum said it would be all right. And when I got out, it started chasing me.
I didn't get bitten until I was virtually at the doorway. I did not kick the dog straight away. It wasn't until I saw the second dog coming and that I felt I was in a very difficult position that I elected to kick the first dog away in self-defense. I won't deny that I used considerable force against that animal, considering its size, but I don't see the incident as being my fault. It was the fact that I'd already been bitten once, and I felt that I would almost certainly be bitten again. And it was a very difficult situation to be in at that time.
And my horse, frightened, sort of like went up into the bank like this and shot off. I tried to pull him up before the farm, but he spun, and then as he turned, I tipped over his head. That's the last I can remember. The natural instinct of the horse, he was just sort of frightened. I was thrown off, and the horse galloped on down the lane.
I started running and the dog started chasing after me. It sank its teeth into my leg. I didn't know though, till my mum looked.
I didn't even know the chap was killed until they told me in hospital. He was out for a cycle ride, the same as I was for a horse ride. You've got to be a good rider, but even the good riders come off. It's just one of those things, It's just an accident.
But after about a period of 6 or 7 weeks, I was prosecuted by the RSPCA. I consider it quite likely that the RSPCA had pressure exerted on them by certain members of the public and animal welfare groups.
My mum started chucking some shopping at the dog, and she chucked a box of cat biscuits at it, and it made a dent in the box. I ran onto my neighbour's drive, and it ran in front of me, and I fell over, and it started pulling me by my ponytail.
Some of the glitzy TV programmes, which incorporate celebrities like Rolf Harris and Bridget Bardot, put animals in a certain glossy light, possibly to the detriment of people who might suffer adverse effects from our animals in the course of their work or in their everyday environment.
The dog grabbed me by my ponytail across my neighbour's drive, and then my neighbour's friend came out and scooped me up and took me in.
The family sent a message up because I was still in quite a bad sort of state for a few months, but the policeman, he was quite good. He kept coming back and seeing that it was all right and that. And they did send a message up saying they know how it must feel, and on no account were they putting any blame onto me. It was just an accident.
I had 3 puncture wounds above and below my knee. I couldn't get to sleep because I had bad dreams and get wet in the bed.
Not very nice to say, but I know the chap was killed, but he could have had the easy way of, out. I could have been paralysed and needed somebody to look after me for the rest of my life, and ruined. I know his life was ruined because he was killed, but it could have ruined my life and ruined somebody else's that would have to look after me.
The court case occurred in March of the following year. The prosecution witnesses were called, and I was the first witness on the defence into the witness box. After about 20 minutes questioning, I collapsed with what I would like to call a giddiness attack. I should state that I was badly run down. The case itself had generated much media pressure, all of it, which was very much adverse to me.
I've rode horses since a boy, but if a horse is frightened, you can't help, all the control in the world, or have an accident, if it trips, it suddenly throws you off, there's nothing you can do, whether you're the best rider in the world.